set it to record and be right back. Okay. Oh, twizzly chair. Whoa. Oh, I have to. That chair is twisting around. Cheers. Right, good. So, it is. What is it? What's the date? It's Wednesday. At least I know that. I am going to mention the date in every video because it helps with the timeline of the project and it's a good way of... Fuck this. It helps with progression of the project, it helps with the timeline, and when it comes to maybe looking back at this, the archive process will be a little easier to access. So yes, it is the 12th of July. I know I missed a week. I missed one. I didn't think it would happen so soon, but actually last week there wasn't really much to update you on, and I thought it would have been silly to produce a journal reflection with nothing really to report on. So I missed a week, and I know that I keep saying doing these videos every week, having a deadline week to week, like I said last time, and probably in the first video, really helps me keep the momentum going with the project. You know, just because I didn't do a video last week does not mean at all that I was not thinking about the project. I have been thinking about this thing non-stop, in a good way, but yeah. The bit that I'm struggling with at the moment is prioritising, you know, what am I meant to do first? At the end of the day, this is a research inquiry. There is an overarching research question, which I'm still yet to come up with, that is leading this project. And so far, the creativity is leading this project with me. I have the material that I want to use and adapt. I have the tools and equipment to be able to do exactly what I want in terms of the auricular vision theatre piece that I want to do. I have all of the foundations to create something, but what I don't have is the research inquiry, and that for me now is starting to cause slight panic, because if I don't have that, that is what we're essentially being assessed on, and I don't have it. And we're already in the middle of July, and this has got to be done in 2 months' time. Sounds like a long time, but it really isn't. So, I'm just going to talk about what I've been up to the last couple of weeks and where I'm heading. I've been working a lot on the adaptation, which I'm going to go into shortly. I've been playing with the equipment that I've got and trying to find all sorts of things that I could record and use as sounds in my sound design piece. I think I might start a drinking game. For every time I mention the word sound, you should take a shot. I'll go into the recording of sounds shortly. I just want to talk about the adaptation phase of this actually. So in the last video I said that I'm just about to move into that, and I have been. So for the last 2 weeks I've been working on the novel and trying to adapt it. I have never done an adaptation before, and I feel that it's just a real challenge. So what I've done, and it's probably not the right way to do it, but it's the way that I've done it, and so far it's sort of helped me. So what I have done for the purpose of the project is, because it was in the book, I don't have it as an online resource, so by hand, I typed out the entire section that I'm looking to adapt onto my computer, word for word. That then allows me to space it, so I've got like triple line spaces, highlight certain things in different colours. So for example, I have a colour for generic sounds that are actually described within the novel text. I have a colour for sounds that can be binaural audio, sounds that can be ambisonic. I've got colours for the dialogue that I want to keep, dialogue that I want to add, and also dialogue that could be ambisonic or binaural, plus sounds that could be binaural and ambisonic, so trying to work out which one will be which. Sounds like a lot of colours. It's maybe about 7 or 8. That's just the first stage of doing this. What I then did, everything highlighted, I then pulled out and stuck in a new document, and I am in the process now of going through that again with a fine-tooth comb, and then once I've done that, when I'm finished later on today, I will move on and create a script with that which has got all the sounds and stage directions all merged into one. So it's going to become like, I sort of want it to be a map of the production. I don't want it to be just a full script. I want it to be quite intricate in terms of sound. I'll see how that comes about and whether that even works. Even if I could do that on the computer, it might have to be a drawn up thing. So that's something that I'm going to be working on later today. It has been quite a challenge, and it's mainly because David Mitchell's writing is so rich with so much in there. I don't really want to cut anything, but because it's a theatre piece I have to, and actually because of the nature of the piece that I'm creating, where sound is dominant and it's going to be pitch black theatre, I have to cut it down, and it's really, really hard. You know, I've obviously kept the original version that I typed up so that when it comes to it, if I'm reading through and nothing makes sense, or I think that actually I've missed something quite imperative, I can still grab it and see if it needs to be in there. So that's where I'm at with that. It should be at a stage that I can share it with people by the end of the day. There's a reason for that as well, which I will mention later on in the video. I've now decided that once I've done the adaptation, even if it's just a first draft, I've got something to base everything on, and I can leave that for a bit, then concentrate on the research and the sounds, and then come back to the adaptation and maybe tweak it if I need to. So the prioritising thing is starting to slot into place, actually. The more I work on it, the more I can work out where the priority lies. So going on to sounds, I've been hunting around the house and outside and trying to find all sorts of things that I can record on. I've been recording my acoustic guitar in certain places as the contact microphone suggests, and that's bringing up some really interesting stuff. I've been recording a slinky as well, because that brings up a whole load of stuff. I've also been recording and adding the contact mic to the gates that I have to get into where I live, and every time I'm having to open them, the hinges are sort of squeaking and groaning, and I was like, I've really got to get those recorded, and I'm really looking forward to sort of manipulating those to see what I can create from that. So the sound element of everything is going really, really well, and everything that I fall upon and have a look at, I'm desperate to record. So I know that I've got a wealth of sources, and then it's a case of using my imagination to come up with what the sounds I've recorded could then become. In terms of these journal videos, I am going to start trying to make them a little bit more concise. I want to take a sort of Pecha Kucha stance on this situation, because the second video turned out to be over half an hour long. There was a lot I had to cover. I wanted to show you all the equipment that I've got. I wanted to show you all the reading material. I did split those in two, but still it was just such a long video. And I don't think it's actually going to be very helpful, because that will be half an hour of my time that I've got to take out to go and look back on that. So with that in mind, I'm just going to move on to the last bit. So earlier I said that I want to get my adaptation to a first draft state by the end of the day, and that is because tomorrow, which is Thursday the 13th of July, we have our first sharing session for this project. So all of the MA cohort are going to get together, and we're all going to share what we've been doing for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Is it that long? However long it's been, we've all got to get together and we're going to share, and we each have 10 minutes to talk about it. So for me it's a bit annoying, you know, at this point I hoped to have had even just like 30 seconds of a soundscape done, but I'm just not at that point yet. I've got so much to do for this project in terms of the adaptation, finding the sounds, recording those, then manipulating them. The adaptation is seriously important, because if I've got nothing to go on, there's no reason for me to make a sound design. So adaptation, adaptation, adaptation. That is priority number 1. And then also I'm not really any further with my research question. Also tomorrow I have got a formal meeting with Aidan to talk about the research side of things, which I'm really looking forward to, because I would really like to work on my ideas and get that theoretical framework down, and that will take quite a weight off my mind and I'll be able to concentrate on everything else. So that's happening tomorrow. I'm quite excited about it, a little bit nervous because I feel like the tutors may be expecting a bit more. But like I've been explaining in these videos, the prioritisation has been really, really hard. I'll have these videos to show at least, and maybe a couple of sounds. I'll make sure that I take something with me tomorrow. But you know, all I can do is talk about my experience so far, and actually the highs and lows is quite important to the process. Train of thought has gone. Sharing session, tutors. I think that's it actually. I'm going to end the video there. Hopefully I've covered what I needed to cover, and I'll chat to you next week.